we got Hoppel, Kessler, Brandon Miller, Clayton Murphy, Ryan Sanchez, Will Sumner, Abe Alvarado, Isaiah Harris, and Eric Sawinski.
Sawinski's probably pacing, even though I love that guy. He's still going strong.
And other than Sanchez, everybody represents the U.S., so this is very U.S. preview-like.
Yes, which is what I like about it. And I'm kind of excited. I'm actually very excited about this race because this can give me a little bit of where does Will Sumner rank among the Hoppels, Millers, Murphys? And I think Will's going to win this race.
Well, that would be in line with what you said after NCAAs when you were in the 144.
I think this sets up well for Will because it's a one-off race. I think Will's kryptonite might be having to do 3 rounds in a short amount of time, which we see a lot of young stars not be able to handle first time around.
Yeah.
Clay Murphy is a very hot and cold machine. He can run well, and then he ran got dead last in his most recent European meet, but he also ran a 144 the week prior to that. A race that Peter Bowl made his season debut. Peter Bowl back in the action. But I think it's going to be Will Sumner for the win, and I think all the pros are going to be like, that's cool, you can have this, but can you do this with 2 800s underneath your legs? And it's going to be a little bit about gamemanship of, does this actually represent a U.S. final, or is it different because, it's should we look at these results and should we say, all right, this is the pecking order of the U.S., or should we throw it out because we know the pecking order of the U.S. needs to have 2 800s underneath your legs?
And it feels like rounds matter more in the 800 than it does in a lot of other events, because the longer stuff, it's essentially a jog, and then they have a lot of time off. The shorter stuff,
your body goes,
you're able to recover.
It's kind of unfair what we do to 800-meter runners in this world. Putting them through 3 rounds.
And 15 is tough as well, too.
In a way.
But I'm just trying to think back to recent examples of collegians on the men's side in the U.S. who ended the season on a tear. How did it go? Obviously, Brazier, 2016, we know that example. Ran 143, but then didn't make it out of the first round of the trials. Hoppel was very successful, but he was much older.
Yeah.
And he just kept winning and winning and winning, and then all the way went to 4th.
Murphy was successful too, right?
Yeah.
He got in because of he was 4th. He got in because of Simmons
But
leaving.
even running 4th.
But getting 4th
is a huge
in a
success.
final.
Yeah.
So there has been, that's true. There have been people who succeed and some people who don't.
Well,
so maybe it actually means nothing.
Well, I'm just taking into account with the rounds situation.
Yeah.
And Hoppel was very experienced, whereas Brazier was his freshman year at A&M. But then you look at Mo, her freshman at A&M. Now, I kind of want to put her in a different category because she's just so good that I don't think the tactics really mattered at all. But Sumner right now has the hot hand, and you don't really want him around with 100 meters to go. He's going to be able to close super duper quick, and he's teaming with confidence. And I do think these 800-meter runners who are running overseas and the races are good and then they're bad, I think some of that is travel-related, fatigue-related. It's just going to be a different situation when we have this race in the United States, and even more so when we have a U.S. Championships where everybody is all competing on a level playing field in terms of rest and recovery. But I think, there's going to be a lot of weight on this. If he goes and runs, if he PRs and then wins with a big kick, everybody's going to have him as a favorite.
But I don't think it's going to be fast. I think it's going to be tactical because I think a lot of these guys, they recognize there's a little bit of gamemanship here. They don't show all their cards. So I don't think we're going to see a 143 here. I think it's going to be a fast 145. And the people are going to there's going to be a lot of people who, it's going to be a weird situation. There's going to be a lot of people who turn it off. When they know they're not going to win, I think there's going to be a couple joggers in the final 25 meters because they'd be like, hey, I'm not fighting for a 6th place.
That's a very sophisticated analysis.
In this thing.